Hey there, and welcome back to another episode of Be Encouraged
Oh my
Moments.
goodness, yes. It's been a long time. And
Have you forgotten our faces?
Exactly.
It is so weird. We don't normally go longer than a week
No.
on missing videos, and so this has been hard on us. Hopefully it's been hard on you too.
Yeah.
But we're so excited to be back. I think you guys might have noticed that on November 3rd, when I told you we'd be back, you actually just got a video, and you didn't get the shining faces that are us.
No.
Jan and I talked about it a lot, and it just seemed like the video was a really great way to grease the wheels. I hope that you watched the video, and if you didn't, I highly encourage that you go back and watch it.
Yes.
The video showcases everything, well, not everything, because we did so much while we were there, but it showcases the two things that were very relevant to Be Encouraged, and the things that your support by just being here and supporting us allows us to do. Your prayers are definitely felt. They were felt the whole time that I was there. I'm going to go into the video a little bit and tell you what you saw in that video so you have a better understanding, so that if you did watch it, you kind of know what you were looking at. And if you didn't watch it, now you can be equipped when you do go see it. First, I want to start by saying that I am just overwhelmed with emotions. Re-entry into society has been very difficult. I was so at peace while I was there. The culture, the people, all of it is just something that I love, and it just covers me in a beautiful shawl.
Yes. Yes, I got
which
this
was brought back
shawl,
from Africa.
homemade by the girls. It's pretty awesome. I love it.
One of the things I said when I got back, when I did devotions here at work, I said that, on one hand, you look at the community and you look at the culture, or if you've never been and you see photos, you make a lot of assumptions. We all do it. There's nothing wrong with it. But you see all the things that they're lacking or that you feel like is missing. But one of the things that I always try to emphasize when I come back is that all the things that they're quote unquote behind from us on, like electricity and television and internet and whatever other thing you can think of, the things that really matter, they exceed us by leaps and bounds. And what I mean by that is they see the importance of the family unit. They see the importance of the friendships and the community, and they take the time to stop and to be present, which you guys all know is such a huge thing to me. I've done lots of videos on that. Being fully present is so important to me. And when I'm there, I feel it. I feel it through and through. Every place we go, it's a huge warm welcome. It's a feast of food. It's dancing. It's singing. It's getting to know one another and spending the time with each other. So, with that said, I hope that you can go and watch the video with a new view, with a new heart. One of the things I said the whole time we were there is that my heart is full, to the point at which my daughter even said that I was saying it too much. But it was. My heart was literally overflowing with love and joy and happiness, and all the wonderful things that we need on a daily basis. So in the video, it starts out, with a nice little introduction that we were in Iringa, Tanzania, which we were. They call it Iringa town when you're there. From Iringa town, we then went to Lutangio, which was the school. That was the first school that we went to, where you see the dancing and you see the students. And while we were there, we were able to do one of the Dignity for Daughter courses, which was absolutely amazing. It was all done in Swahili, which is really cool because the secondary schools actually teach in English. And so most of these students, or not most, all of these students speak pretty fluent English. And actually they have to take their tests in English. So it would stand to reason that we could do it in English, but it's not their first language. And this is such an important topic that we don't want anything to get lost in translation. So we choose to do it in Swahili, which for me and my daughter and the one other American that was there, we had no idea what was really being said, but we still knew that it was great. If you really pay attention to the photos, I think you'll see the excitement in the girls' faces. I tried to really capture that. You see them taking notes, eagerly writing things down the whole time. At one point, there's a picture where all the girls are standing up on their chairs in the back so that they can see what's going on in the front of the classroom. I was blown away by that. I think it brought tears to my eyes when I saw that. when they actually brought out the kits and they were taking all the kits apart, the girls got to see. And the teacher went to the extent of actually putting the pad on the pair of underwear and then putting the pair of underwear on over her leggings. It was the most hysterical thing. But the girls loved it. They could connect. They didn't feel like this was an embarrassing topic to talk about, which was huge. One of the other things that was so amazing to watch was they did a lot of role playing where they would have situations where a male would be showing a female something and then he would kind of put his arm around her and then it would just, and how should they react to that? Are they aware of that? So it was just so much. I could go on for hours talking about this, but I think that the pictures really give you a kind of highlight reel of what the course was all about. After we got back from Lutangio, I had one night and then I turned around and I went back to, I went out to Indenzavili, which is actually a village that my church sponsors, but Be Encouraged has come alongside with. And I point at Jan just because I'm emphasizing the Be Encouraged. And if you've noticed, there was a whole lot of Brandon the Bees floating around.
Yes. That was beautiful.
It was. So Jan and I had talked a lot about it before I went, and we made the decision that we wanted to make sure that every child in the village got something. And we have child things, so it worked. A lot of times what happens is when people go to visit the villages, they take books or they take, kitchen supplies or, things that don't affect, they do affect the kids, but they don't get to play with them.
Right.
We took jump ropes, which you saw lots of pictures of the kids jumping ropes. We took Frisbees, we took balloons, and like I said, Be Encouraged donated 150 stuffed bees.
And may I say that there were a ton of kids there. I think the Lord just multiplied it because
I do too.
they lasted. There's so many kids, and Larissa was like really nervous that they wouldn't have enough, and they did because the Lord made it happen.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. But what a beautiful thing.
When we got there, we decided that we were only going to go up to the age of 8 because we were afraid we weren't going to have enough bees. But then if we had enough, we'd go to 9. And so on and so forth. We ended up being able to give every child in the village 12 and under a bee. Mm-hmm. Again, they multiplied in the bag because there was no way there was only 150 kids in that village. Again, you can see from the pictures. We also donated books. We donated 5 sets of the Brandon the Bee books, which if you're not familiar with the sets, go check those out on the website. Mm-hmm. There are 3 books in the set now. We gave 1 to each one of the Sunday school teachers, and then we put 1 in the master library so that anybody could have access to it if they wanted to. We also had enough bees to give a handful to each of the teachers so that if they were teaching, they have the bee to, demonstrate with. Now, in the village, Swahili is the primary language. There's very few people who speak English in the village for a multitude of reasons. They're so remote that there's no need for them to speak English, and if they don't go to the secondary school, they don't ever learn it. So I was a little nervous about the books, but as it turned out, there were 4 Sunday school teachers, and 2 of them fluently spoke English, and the other 2 were working on it. And so the books will be able to be put to good use with the teachers, and so they'll be able to tell the stories in Swahili to the kids. So I'm very excited about that. The village, again, you saw as they literally escorted us from our vehicle all the way into the village. We hiked over a mile uphill from the bridge in that parade succession that you saw in the video. Every picture that you saw was not a stock photo. It was a photo that I actually took either on my iPhone or on my Canon camera. And the ones that I'm actually in them, obviously somebody else just had my device and took it for me. I was blessed to spend 2 days in that village and to be surrounded by that community. All the music that you heard on that video was also music that was sang while I was there. So the first half of the video was the students singing when you see the students. The second half of the video would have been people in the village, either their youth choir, their adult choir, or their children's choir. The song at the very end of the video, which I can't, I can't watch that video and not cry. So Marley, there was a picture of Marley with about 10 girls up against the big Jeep. And those were the good friends, the good close friends that she made in that period of time while we were there. Not one of them spoke English. So she literally proved while we were there that everybody smiles in the same language. We did have a translator with us, so obviously he did come out and help the kids communicate. But even in that very limited amount of time, they created this bond that just couldn't, they were in tears. Everybody was in tears that night when we were going to leave. And so the kids started singing that song to her. That song was something they had rehearsed as a welcome to us when we got there. But the kids then incorporated it again because it was one of the few English songs that they knew that they could sing to her to let their friends know that they loved their guestie. And that was the way that they said guest. It was guestie, and it was just the cutest thing ever.
Yes.
I hope that you all noticed the little girl with the bee on her back. That was another one of the videos.
Favorite. Absolutely my favorite.
The mamas in the village, which is what all moms are called. So I'm Mama Marley. You're called Mama by your child's name. If you have multiple children, then you're just Mama.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so I was always referred to as Mama Marley. And they carry their kids on their backs while they cook, while they clean, while they, plow the fields, whatever work they're doing, the kids are always on their back. So to see that little girl carrying her baby bee on her back was just amazing. The really amazing thing about that, though, is you have to think about how little she was. She didn't tie her baby on her back. Her mama did, which meant that her mama valued the gift that we brought so much that she did this for her child. So everything, Be Encouraged touched so many lives while we were there, in so many different ways, through gift, through communion, through friendship, through whatever analogy you want to use. We were there, we were present. And in one of the videos that I did with the headmaster, Sebastian from Lutangio, he even comments that, I think I cut this part out, but he comments that it's the coming, it's the being present. It's not the financial. Yes, the financial is huge and makes a big difference and a huge impact, but it's knowing that we genuinely are invested in their lives that makes such a huge impact on these girls and on these kids and on these families. So from the bottom of my heart, I am filled with gratitude at your willingness to allow me to be gone for a month to do this. And I hope that I share this, me sharing this with you inspires you, and once you want to get involved. I literally took thousands of photos, so I couldn't even begin to share everything. If you have an interest or you want to know more, please reach out, ask questions. It's what I thrive on. It's what Jan thrives on. Jan may not have been there in person, but she was there in heart, and she felt it through and through.
Yes.
This is very much a Jan and Larissa project. This is all about empowering women and empowering families, which I think you guys know is the crux of our ministry. So just like I said, your prayers, your thoughts, your well wishes, all of those things go a long way. It goes back to what I just said a minute ago. It's so much more than financial commitment. It has to do with the involvement, the commitment, the caring, the relationship. And by you guys empowering me, that then empowers me to go there and do the things. I hope that it is a very short time before the next time that I go back there. If you have questions about the video or about the picture, again, just shoot me an email and I'll be happy to let you know. We will be updating the website in the next couple of months with a lot of pictures and a lot more information. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And in Swahili, that would be Asante Sana. You guys have given me an opportunity that I am so blessed to be able to share with you. We look forward to seeing you guys on the next video, and hopefully I'll have a lot more stuff to share with you over time. And as you ask questions, I will talk about it on these videos. So we'll talk to you soon, and thank you, as always, for joining us on our Be Encouraged moment.